Aidan Bennett joins the show. I think Aidan's ready to go. He's mid-conversation at the moment. I didn't mean to interrupt. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Your hands are cold, man. You guys must have just been practicing.
Yeah, no, we just got to practice like 2 hours ago probably.
Okay. I suppose considering it is a perfect early April Northeast Ohio kind of day, that's par for the course.
The cold's been pretty brutal for me.
I don't know if people had a chance to see this team play here this past weekend. Another really good performance on Saturday against Muskingum with another sweep in conference play. Why don't we start on a team perspective before we go individually? 17-3 is a really good start. Number 9 ranked team in the country is really impressive. And I know you guys are proud of what you've done so far, but I also know you guys have really high aspirations. Mm-hmm. How do you try to balance knowing that you're on track and you're playing well, but, man, there's still a lot of baseball to go?
Yeah, that last series against Wilmington was a wake-up call for us. We lost 2 games earlier in the year to 2 pretty good teams, and I think after we lost that first one, we went into the game thinking we were going to win and just got a fight that we weren't ready for. We went out, won the next game 15-1, and since then I feel like we just have been clicking.
Well, it's been fun to watch in the last couple of weeks, but in general, I don't know what I'm more impressed with, the offense or defense. I mean, you guys you pick it well. You guys pitch it really, really well, including yourself. Grand Slam this past weekend. I mean, it's like all the way around. It just feels like this is the kind of team that is opening eyes around the region. What's it like to be a part of a group that when you look up and down the dugout, you're like, he can play, he's helping us, man, he's good. I think we got a good thing going here.
Yeah, when I first got here, I didn't know what to expect with this team at all. And after I got to learn everybody and see them play, it made me realize that just to have fun out there. Like they have helped me become better ever since I stepped on that field. And everybody being that as good as they are is just awesome. I don't really know.
So Aidan is from very far South Florida, down in
Yes.
Naples. So I'll just ask you the obvious question. Why Greater Cleveland?
So my best friend back home from Naples also goes here and plays baseball, DJ Doria. And Cam Jones also played here. He doesn't play here anymore, but after my old school and I didn't really click, I was looking for other schools, and they were like, just talk to Coach D, talk to Harrison, and I finally took that chance and talked to them, and ever since that, it was just set from there.
So what were those conversations like?
Those conversations were very unique. I had never have had a coach that talked to me the way that they did, and ever since then, I love those guys. They're super awesome.
I don't mean to poke and pry if it was private, but I guess I know the personalities of Coach Harrison and Coach DeAngelis, but maybe some of our viewers don't. What is unique about them in the way that, as a player, you kind of really want to go play for guys like that?
I honestly think it's just like the whole feeling of family of the team. Not even with them as coaches. It's just like the players want to play for them. I don't know what it is about them that is like that, but they just are. They make it fun, and that's our whole goal is playing sports is have fun.
What do you think is the strength of this team right now? Biggest strength?
I'd say our pitching and defense. Our defense, when our pitching's not good, our defense backs up our pitchers, and I'm not worried about our hitting at all.
Yeah. How much more can you share with us about your journey to BW? I know you didn't start here, but the idea of how you got here.
I started off my freshman year at FGCU in Florida, and that was the COVID year that got everything shut down. So that once I got back to that school in my sophomore year, I just wasn't the same player. I was out of shape, and all of that happened. So the coaches thought I took all that time off, and it just didn't really click well at that place. So then once I made the decision to go in the transfer portal and do all that stuff, after finding this place and taking a tour here and everything, it was just perfect for me, honestly.
what is the transfer portal like? I mean, we hear in college athletics right now about all these changes going on, and I realize there's not a whole bunch of like name, image, and likeness stuff going on with Division III student athletes, but the transfer portal seems like this innocuous place that you can't really wrap your head around.
Yeah.
What's it like to be in it?
Yeah, so when I first was about to click enter into it, after filling out all my stuff.
So it is actually physically a portal.
Yeah, in a way it was really weird because I didn't know how it worked either.
Sure.
So the second I entered it, the next day I'd say I got 8 phone calls from all different types of schools all across the country, really.
Yeah.
Just mainly D2, D3s, and they were. I just didn't have that conversation with a coach that I was I want to play there.
Sure.
Until I talked to Coach D.
How about from a facility standpoint? I mean, I would have to think that part of your thought process is hey, if I'm going to go play somewhere where the weather is not consistently warm, I got to know that we're playing on, high-end facilities, and we can fight our way through some crummy weather.
Mm-hmm. I'd say the winter of winter baseball is a totally different thing that I had to learn, and
welcome to Northeast Ohio.
I've never even had to throw inside.
Yeah.
In Florida, it's year-round outside. If it's raining, you just wait till tomorrow or wait till it's done raining. It's just there's no inside baseball. So having to learn that, and after seeing it on my visit, especially the turf field, that in Florida is very rare. So it's super awesome to have that be our home field.
I'm thinking back to my high school baseball days. I mean, gosh, I spent more time inside than you probably have an idea of it now. But
yeah.
I mean, my gosh, man, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
There's snow on the ground. That's how you play.
You'd rather be inside as well.
At that point,
yeah.
absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. I'd rather be inside when it's 40 on Saturday when you guys were playing. I was let's go inside. Oh man. So as you think about what you want to get out of your BW experience, it sounds like it's been a great fit for you so far. Do you get too individually focused on hey, this is kind of what I'd like to accomplish with my career? Mm-hmm. Or is it just all about let's just go win a bunch of games and hang out with my boys and see what happens?
So I would say coming into here, I was very about my career and about trying to become better and all that kind of stuff. But that switch of my old school not being, it was kind of a job there.
Sure.
So once I got here and I was having fun, it was more I want to win for them, not I want to win for myself. So I made that switch, which it's very selfish a thought process, but I did have that, I will be honest. And they helped me get out of that a lot.
Well, I think that's really cool because I bet you a lot of people have that thought process and aren't willing to be honest about how hard it is to move away from that. Mm-hmm. But when you're surrounded by good people, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So what have you come to know about the Mariettas of the world?
I'm not – everybody's been talking about them all season, and I honestly, I've had very hard competition throughout my career, and I'm not worried about them whatsoever. I feel with our hitting, with our pitching, the way we're playing right now, we are the best team.
Yeah. Well, it's fun that you're going to get to decide it on the field for sure. And I would hope they feel the same way, and I'm sure you're not the only one on your side that feels that way. They are a very good program. They've won more Division III college baseball World Series national titles than any other school in the country, but they're also not unbeatable.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen over the last few years that BW in particular has put together a heck of a product and is generally very ready come NCAA tournament time to go out and perform at a high level.
Yeah.
How much do you guys talk about that kind of stuff? Is it so focused on day-to-day that you can't see the end game, or do you really talk about, guys, we're here because we're trying to win a national title?
I would say after we came back from Florida was kind of we're good. We realize that this team is that team that can do that, and we have been talking about that a lot. But it's not distracting us in a way. It's more driving us to become better for our teammates.
Sorry, I thought that was directed toward us. How about from your family? The idea that you're playing so far away from home. I'm sure they're trying to stay as connected with you and as close to what's going on with your career as possible. How have they been able to be on this journey with you?
My mom has had a very rough time with me being this far away from home because at FGCU, that's 30 minutes away from my home. So after I made the decision, she was very, very happy for me that I made that decision to go up north, but she still hates that I'm so far away. And my stepdad loves that I'm here. He thinks that it's awesome, and he wanted me to come here after he took the visit with me. And my brother is a huge part of who I am, and I believe that he wants me to be here as well.
The OAC Pitcher of the Week earlier this year. 4 appearances on the season, 3 wins, no losses. You've had a heck of a run so far. 8, and 5 strikeouts apiece in those 4 appearances, including Game 1 against Muskingum on Saturday. Looking forward the rest of the season, I know you've got Marietta and John Carroll both coming to campus. You've got Otterbein coming up to Berea. Ohio Northern's coming to town. Still matchups with Mount Union and Heidelberg Capital on the road. A couple of others mixed in there as well. Aside from the Marietta doubleheader, is there a series that you're most looking forward to, or is that an obvious question and the answer is May 6th?
I personally just say the next one.
Sure.
I'm that type of person that doesn't like to look too far ahead, but it does help me with like working out, like pushing so I can get to that spot. But the next game against who do we play next?
Next you got Case. Case coming up this week.
Case, and then my next game I'll pitch I think is against Capital. At Capital. So I would say that's my next one.
For folks that haven't had a chance to see you pitch in person, when you're at your best, what's that look like?
I feel like I just pitch with a lot of motion, and am I
motion or emotion?
Emotion.
Emotion. Okay.
And I feel like when I'm at my best and I'm throwing how I like to throw, I just can't. Like I'm the best. Like
sure.
In my mind, that's the way I feel.
Well, you have to. If you're on the slab, man, you better feel like I don't care who's in the box. I can get this guy out.
Yeah.
What's your arsenal look like?
I have fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. That's it.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah. Well, there's many people out there with like 6 different pitches.
Yeah. Forget about that.
Yeah.
Fastball sits.
89, 91.
Okay. And your out pitch is?
Slider.
I like your slider. Okay. What do you like about your slider that you're trying to get to with your curveball?
I would say I throw strikes with my slider, and it's harder than my curveball. My curveball is more just like a strike stealer, like 0-0 counts.
Okay.
And my out pitch is I can just whip the slider down, and it just looks like a fastball to the last second.
Okay. So what are you working on most as the season's going along here?
I would say learning, because this is my first like full real baseball season in 3 years, maintaining my strength and my arm basically. That's about it.
Is it hard to know that you're pitching, you're also in class, you're trying to eat the right food, you got bus rides that sometimes are challenging, you got to stay on top of your strength and conditioning. It's a lot to balance.
Yeah, I would say that struggle is all worth it.
Sure.
That it is hard to do and hard to get up every day and have to do all of those things. But again, when you're doing it for people, it's so much easier.
Aidan Bennett, 6'6", 220-pound right-handed pitcher for the Jackets. When he stands in the middle of the diamond, looks like he's about 7'5" on top of the slab. And you've had a heck of a run here so far. It's been fun to watch you compete so far this year, and certainly hoping that it'll be a long, fun season for you.
It will be.
All right. Aidan Bennett, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right. So all 3 of our guests here that